Welcome to Warzone Wednesday, episode 7, I believe it is. And this week I want to talk about a topic suggested by someone who posted on episode 4, I think it was. I can't remember your name. I'm really sorry. I'll either put it in the video or in the description. But I've had a few questions about this recently, even before I started playing Star Wars. And it sort of regards Star Wars and Guild Wars 2. And the overall question really is, will I believe in Star Wars to play Guild Wars 2, or will I be playing Guild Wars 2 as well as Star Wars, and why? So first off, I want to start off by saying I've been watching a lot of beta recently of like footage from Guild Wars 2, and that game looks amazing. All I'm going to say is 2 words: vanilla Warhammer. And the open world PvP in that, like, it just reminds me so much of the good old days in Warhammer Online. And I know for a fact that when I log on to play that game, I'm just going to be blown away. Guild Wars 2 was one of the... I never played the first one at all. I didn't really hear about it at all, really. But this second one, I was really pumped for. I'd seen a few trailers and it looked quite cool. And I started watching the PvE footage and I wasn't that impressed. I was like, well, this isn't really doing much for me. It's not making me feel like, oh, this is just like Warhammer Online, or oh, it's not one of those games that's making me feel the same way that Warhammer Online did. But after seeing that open world, it's like world versus world versus world like area. Wow, that really does remind me of what Warhammer Online used to be like before they did all the changes and people left and whatnot. And I know for a fact that I'm going to be quitting Star Wars for at least 1 month or 2 months to play that game. Now, here's the thing though, that Guild Wars 2, as far as I'm aware, is going to be free to play. I'm sure people have told me before it's going to be free to play. If it isn't, then I'm sorry, then you can correct me on that. But as far as I'm aware, it's going to be free to play. So you're probably asking yourself, well, why do you need to quit Star Wars then? Because you're not paying any extra for a game. The reason I'd quit is because I know that from what I've seen so far, if it is that good and if it is like Warhammer Online, which is to me what it looks like so far, I know for a fact that I'm not going to be playing Star Wars The Old Republic enough to be paying £10 a month. Like when I resubbed to I didn't resub, I got the 14-day re-enlistment trial thing just to see what it was like. I played that game the 14 days so much I didn't even log on to Star Wars for 2 weeks. And that's sort of the reason why there's been a lack of videos for Star Wars as well recently. So I'm sorry about that, but hopefully I can get some more going again now if I actually come back to the game. I just burned out so much on that. I played it for a lot during release, and I just wanted to take a break from it. And Warhammer was a really good break because that's the other reason as well, is because Star Wars hasn't really got any compelling PvP content at the moment. Now I know they're adding 1 Warzone so far, but I mean that's still only 4 Warzones. Ilum is as broke as a glass vase on a kitchen floor. it is just, Ilum is, I can see what they've tried to do, but it's just not worked. It's like the winter grasp of WoW. It's like, well, it's there, but nobody's really doing it. Nobody's really playing it. It's not, again, it's not compelling enough. There's not enough PvP content in that game to make me want to carry on doing it and to get the gear. And here's the thing, one thing I don't like is to get the good gear, to get like the champion gear and the Centurion gear and the Battlemaster gear, it almost forces you to do the dailies. Now I know like some people are going to say, whoa, obviously you need to do the PvP dailies. If you're doing PvP, you may as well. But they sort of rely on you doing the dailies and the weeklies to get that gear, and I don't like that. In Warhammer Online there wasn't any daily or weekly PvP quests. Well, not main prop ones anyway, and you could still get the gear, and you got gear just by getting kills. You got enough kills on people and took these objectives, and you got rewarded for that by getting the gear. In this game you don't. It's all about, when you do the daily, you get the champion gear bag as well as like credits and things like that. And then you do the weekly and you get 3 champion gear back, where you get 2 and then you get to choose 1 as well, but most people choose a champion gear bag. So in theory you could get, if you did the daily each day, you could get full gear in like a week. Like I've got full on my level 50 consular, I got full not Battlemaster gear, I wish, full champion gear within about 2 weeks. I probably would have got it within a week if I'd played it more, but like I said, I took a break when I was playing War, and it's just so easy. Like grinding out the Valor in it as well is just, you get to a certain point after Valor rank 65, it's pointless. They really need to add some more higher end PvP content. And I think they also need to encourage players to play PvP at lower levels, because here's the thing, when this is also a tip as well. I'm giving you guys a tip. When you're playing PvP, and before 50 that is, save your commendations. Save them. Do not bother buying the level 20 or 40 PvP gear at all. I found out this the hard way, and here's why I'm going to say this. But if you buy the level 20 and 40 PvP gear, brilliant, you know, that's fine. It is very good gear for your level, and you will get some nice stats from it. But first of all, you don't get any expertise from the level 20 or 40 PvP gear. And expertise is like the PvP stat. You need expertise to do well in PvP. You may be the best player in the world, but if you haven't got any expertise, you're not going to do very well in PvP. And you don't get any expertise off the level 20 or 40 PvP gear. So first of all, it seems like a waste, but also you're going to need as many commendations as possible as soon as you hit 50, because not only can you get those champion bags off doing the dailies and weeklies, but you can also buy them for 200 Warzone commendations and 200 mercenary commendations. Now, mercenary commendations you earn by fighting in open world PvP on Ilum, but you'll get them much quicker just buying them off the vendor, and you get 10 mercenary commendations for every 30 Warzone commendations. So it works out like, if you save all your Warzone commendations right up to 50, you could essentially buy like all your champion gear like straight away as soon as you hit 50. Essentially, you could do that. And I found out this the hard way, because I bought the level 20 and 40 PvP gear, the full set, and when I got to 50, I hardly had any commendations, and I had to grind it out. And it was a bit of a grind, to be granted. It didn't take long, but it was still a bit of a grind, you know, especially some days where Empire are completely owning Republic on my server, and it's not brilliant. Like, it's really hard to get that gear, but then the next day, if you win every Warzone, you're going to get that gear super quick. So save those commendations. But I know that's going off topic, a bit of a tangent there, but overall, the PvP content in Star Wars, it's there, but there's not enough of it. Now, like I said, I know they are adding one Warzone in the next major patch, which is fine, but it's still only one Warzone. This is eventually, you know, at the end of the day, it is still a PvE game. It's not a PvP game at all, and I totally get that. But even like World of Warcraft, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but even World of Warcraft's PvP is better. And I never thought I'd say that. World of Warcraft PvP, when I was playing that game while waiting for Star Wars and whatnot, it's fun. It is fun when you're playing it. You know, if you're playing with friends and stuff, it can be quite a fun time. You know, you're getting that gear and stuff. But I think the way that they do the gear and how you get it is more like Warhammer rather than Star Wars, because although Warhammer doesn't require as much about the accommodations, it's all about your renown first. That's the concentrate. You don't have that sort of rank in WoW or Star Wars. What you do in Star Wars, you have Valor, but in WoW you don't really have that. But it's not so much the ranking system or anything, it's just the general gameplay of it and the way they've done the war zones. There's a lot of different PvP war zones, battlegrounds in WoW, and especially when you're on a PvP server, it's a lot. It's still not Warhammer PvP, I do get that, but it is a lot more fun than Star Wars The Old Republic PvP. And I think this is why I will be cancelling Star Wars when Guild Wars 2 comes out. Now, if Guild Wars 2 does disappoint me, which I'm not going to say it won't, but I'm also not going to say it will. Obviously, I haven't even played the beta yet. But when I do play that game, if it does disappoint me, I will probably return to Star Wars to check out some of the new content they've added, or maybe even World of Warcraft. And here's one other thing I want to clear up. Warhammer Online, I'm not resubscribing to that game until it goes free to play. I'm just not going to do it. As much as I love the game and I still think it's the best PvP game out there, it's not worth £10 a month. There's hardly anyone left playing it. The developers are just up their own arses, and yeah, I could talk about that for a long time, which I have actually started doing. That 1 minute video, 1 minute, that's like the shortest video ever. That 1 hour video I said I was working on, I've got about 20 minutes worth of audio recorded for that now, so that's coming along really well, and hopefully I can get that done in about a month or two. But again, I'll update you guys on that. But yeah, Guild Wars 2, when that comes out, I will be quitting Star Wars to play that. Maybe not forever, I might, because if Guild Wars 2 is free to play, then I might subscribe to Star Wars every now and then while I'm playing Guild Wars 2, because you know, Star Wars is a good game. It is a good game, but PvP wise, there's not enough of it. It's there, but it's not enough. You know, they've done really well with class balancing, and the war zones that you play are really fun. Like, I've never had so much fun in war zones before, not even in Warhammer. But there's just not enough of them. So hopefully when they do add more, and they do change some of the systems and ranking up systems, things like that, hopefully it does become a lot more fun PvP wise. And I can play that alongside Guild Wars 2 as well. So that's answering your questions anyway. I hope you enjoyed this episode. let me know what you guys think. Are you going to be leaving Star Wars to playing Guild Wars 2 if you are playing Star Wars, or leaving whatever MMO you're playing, be it Rift, WoW, War, EVE Online, any of these MMOs? Will you be leaving any of them to play Guild Wars 2, or will you still be playing that as well as your MMO? Let me know. And but from what I've seen of Guild Wars 2 so far, it looks amazing. I can't wait to play that world versus world PvP. Should be really good fun, should make some really good videos, and it will remind me of the good old days of Warhammer Online, of just mass amounts of RVR. So much fun. I can't wait to play it. Staying up till like 4 AM in the morning just trying to take a keep. It may be tired in the long run, but it was a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned next week for the next Warzone Wednesday, and other than that, if you haven't subscribed, please do rate the video. That will really help us all, and I'll see you next week.